Yo, what is going on, Headliner Nation? It's your boy, The Doc, and we are back with another Dynasty Headliner video. This week's video is all about trading during your rookie drafts, and specifically which players you should be trading for during those rookie drafts. Let's jump into it. Before we jump into specific names, let's talk first, why should you be trading for veterans during your rookie draft? Well, the rookie draft really is the perfect culmination of the best time to buy aging veterans and the best time to move rookie draft picks. Rookie fever is at an all-time high. A lot of people are deciding if they're going to be competing or if they're going to be rebuilding. And those are the types of people that are going to trade you valuable assets for your dynasty squad if you're trying to compete. Most of the guys in this video are specifically for if you're trying to compete in dynasty, because we find that veterans tend to be on a steep discount during rookie drafts. Everybody wants to get younger during the rookie draft, which is the perfect time for you to scoop up valuable players that can help your team during the actual fantasy season. This is the off season. These rookies have not scored any points for us yet, so don't be afraid to make a move or two. Maybe give up the opportunity for a lottery ticket in the later rounds of your rookie draft to pick up somebody that you know has a proven track record of putting up fantasy points to help you potentially win your leagues. That's why I like trading for veterans during the rookie draft, and it's why you should enjoy doing it as well. Now let's get into the players. The first one on this list is somebody that a lot of people are not really going to consider a fantasy asset, but let me just tell you why this isn't just a homer pick. Pat Frymuth still has potential to have great value for your fantasy team, specifically at the tight end position. With George Pickens on the way to Dallas, the number 2 pass catching role in Pittsburgh is now an open competition, and he has hit 148 or more PPR points in 3 of his 4 seasons in the NFL, which makes him a reliable low-end tight end 1 in fantasy, despite not really having the ceiling that some of the other players at the tight end position have. He is cheap in Dynasty right now for somebody you can basically bank on getting you 8 to 12 PPR points at your tight end position. Now, this year's class is highlighted by 2 great young tight end prospects in Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. But if you don't want to risk your tight end 1 slot on a rookie, or don't want to pay the draft capital that it would take in your Dynasty rookie draft to pick up one of those tight ends, it would be in your best interest to look at trading for Pat Frymuth. Throwing him into a deal where you can move down a few spots in the second or the third could give you a chance to pick up a nice, cheap option at your tight end 1 so that you can focus on other positions during the rookie draft. Now, the next guy on the list is not a sexy option in Dynasty right now, and a lot of aging veterans are not going to be sexy during the Dynasty rookie draft, but that's why I like to trade for those guys during the draft. They're cheap to acquire, and that is the case with James Conner. Now, not every trade has to be a knock it out of the park trade for your Dynasty squad. James Conner not going to win you a Dynasty league by himself, but he probably only has one good season left, and I think it should be on your Dynasty team. He's been a top 20 running back in each of the last 4 seasons. Trey Benson is really his only competition after the draft, where the Cardinals addressed a lot of other positions besides the running back position. So you're dealing with a rookie, or what was a rookie in Trey Benson last year, that did not produce at a very high level last year. James Conner outproduced him basically in every metric, and we didn't see a lot of hope for Trey Benson to take a significant load away from James Conner. So I think Conner still has some juice left in the tank, and if you're competing, he's going to give you a better chance at weekly floor options for your RB2 or RB3 or flex position than most of the running backs that you would get in the early to mid 3rd round, which is about the price that I think you could pick up James Conner for. So again, not the sexiest pick, but the type of move that you make if you're trying to compete and you want to have as many options as you can in those flex spots to give you high upside each and every week during the actual fantasy season. We've talked about a couple older guys, but let's talk about a young gun here in Jaylen McMillan. Now, Jaylen McMillan's ADP has taken an absolute roller coaster ride this offseason. He was coming off an absolute heater last year where he finished the last 5 games of the season with 16 or more PPR points, and it looked like he could be a legitimate diamond in the rough that you found in your rookie drafts last season. That was before the team opted to re-sign Chris Godwin and then drafted Emeka Egbuka, some people's wide receiver 1 in this year's draft class, and they took him in the first round, so the draft capital was significant for Egbuka. Now, it's hard to argue that McMillan will be able to reliably score fantasy points the way that he did at the end of 2024 in 2025, which is why now is a great time if you like the talent to go try to acquire him during your Dynasty rookie draft. He's only 23 years old, the same age as most of the best wide receivers from this year's class, by the way. A lot of old prospects in this year's class when you actually look at their ages. McMillan is pretty comparable to a rookie in this year's class. And should Mike Evans or Chris Godwin get hurt again this season, or maybe Emeka Egbuka does not hit the way that some people think he would, I still think that Jaylen McMillan has a chance to break out again in 2025, despite having a pretty bad offseason for his ADP. His value can really only go up from here as soon as he gets more opportunities. And with Mike Evans on a contract year with an out in 2025, it's possible that you could see return on value as soon as this season or next season. Let's say you don't want a young wide receiver that you have to wait on to produce for your fantasy team. Let's talk about Calvin Ridley and the Tennessee Titans. Now, Ridley escaped the draft without a lot of target competition heading his way, which was a surprise for most people, and he got a huge upgrade at the quarterback position. Now, I understand that the Titans did take a couple swings in the third day of the draft with Elikai Omaner and Shamir DK as their new wide receivers, but both of those guys are speed guys, and I think Calvin Ridley is still set up to be the alpha in this wide receiver room, at least for this season. He's coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving years, and the fact that he got that upgrade at quarterback could mean that there's more in the tank for Calvin Ridley this season. I would not be surprised if he puts up 1,200 yards plus with a better quarterback throwing him the ball each and every week. We saw this type of jump with Terry McLaurin last year when he was basically a wide receiver 3 for his entire career, and then took a huge jump up as soon as he got that upgrade with the rookie quarterback. Now, I think Calvin Ridley is still very attainable in trades. Being on the wrong side of 30 should help you in his negotiations, but he just turned 30, so it's not like he's super old heading into this season. And I think we'll see his value decrease even more as teams get more and more excited about younger players and starting them and having their rookies come in and potentially play right away. Now, I'd be willing to move a late second for Calvin Ridley at this point, but I'd really like to package Calvin Ridley with a later second or even a third round pick to move off of a second, pick up a wide receiver, and still not lose a lot of draft capital in my rookie drafts. I love pairing these types of players like the ones in this video with a later pick to let somebody else trade up. I still get a great asset that is going to help my fantasy team right away. They get to buy into this year's rookie class, and I still have a lottery ticket that I can fall back on from the trade. Everybody wins in those types of trade situations, and it's one that you should be looking for if you're trying to upgrade your team right away and potentially compete as soon as this season. All right, guys, that's it for this week's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. And if you enjoy this Dynasty content, what are you waiting for? Go check out the Fantasy Headliners Draft Guide. It is live right now with all of our Dynasty content, and it will be updated throughout the summer as we get back into the redraft season. And that's the great thing about our draft guide, is that we can update it as the offseason goes along. As soon as breaking news drops, we can update the draft guide so you're getting up-to-date information each and every time you go to look at that draft guide. Again, head over to tfhdraftguide.com and pick up your copy today. But that's all I got for you, and we will see you next time.
Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game.